welcome back. I think to fully understand the Philadelphia experiment, you have to understand both the team of people who I believe did it, their motivations, who they are, and the history of what led up to them doing the experiment. Now, I have a conclusion. I believe I know what actually happened in the Philadelphia experiment. But today, I'm going to slightly tease you because I think it's more interesting to understand what led up to it, and then you'll understand what really did happen. So in today's film, we're going to look at the background of the people, the history, a bit of World War II facts, some really interesting things that I didn't know and I can share with you. So I'm concentrating on who were the people on the Philadelphia experiment team. And the key person for me as a British person is this Mr. Dr. Hill character. Hill is a key player. The reason that he's on the experimental committee, we will get onto. But I want you to understand what he has already done for the war effort. He basically changed the history of World War II because of this. So Hill was an eminent scientist and he was invited onto the Tizard committee. And the Tizard committee, one of the things they obviously looked at was, as I talked about earlier, the Tesla death ray. They didn't go ahead with that, but it led to radar. And it also led to research at Manchester University into this thing called the magnetron. Now you have to understand that the United States was not part of World War II at this time. Pearl Harbor had not happened, and the war was totally in Europe. And Britain was really worried. Germany had built up an immense air force, and it was obvious that they were going to attack Britain, an island, from the air. And Churchill really was worried, and he put so much resources into early radar to build up this chain home early warning system around the coastline of Britain. Research and development was also put into the magnetron at Manchester University. And I think if any one piece of technology changed World War II, it was the magnetron. It was a way of making radar tiny, so it could be airborne, or even put into shells, the so-called VT shells, the ones that were proximity shells, used a type of radio radar detection that would explode near their target. It changed the war. And the United States didn't have it. At the same time, Britain was actually working on a fission bomb, long before the Americans had actually considered it. And Britain had something else. They had Frank Whittle and Frank Whittle's jet engine. But we were going to be overrun by the Germans. Despite these immensely important scientific inventions, Britain was just done for. I mean, the Germans were going to bomb Britain to pieces, invade the island, and we would have been a Nazi race. So enter Dr. Hill. He argued something so counterintuitive and so strange that it went straight to Winston Churchill through the Tizard committee, and they agreed. What they agreed to do was to share the magnetron, the atomic bomb research, the jet engine, and other stuff. It's always called and other stuff. I'd like to know what. Oh, the proximity fuse was a very important part of it. With the United States to encourage the US to help Britain if Britain got into the state of being invaded, because America was currently neutral. So this incredible journey took place, where a young 28-year-old carrying a small dispatch box, a wooden box, took a cab to a station called Euston Station in London, and then a boat across the Atlantic with this box. It was so precious that holes were drilled in it that if the box ever got lost, it would deliberately sink to the bottom of the sea, because in this box were the atomic weapon plans, the magnetron, Frank Whistle's jet engine plans, and the other things, whatever they are. And a meeting was set up, and the Americans were amazed. They'd been working on radar but didn't have a cavity magnetron that worked of that size and power. They really wanted it. And these gifts changed the course of the war. The United States started sharing their technology with Britain because of this reciprocal arrangement. And in the end, Britain would have lost our island to the Germans if it wasn't for the Allied American help in fighting World War II in Europe. So, I thank them. But it was Dr. Hill who persuaded Tizard and Churchill to give away the family jewels. Now you understand that. Can you now understand how amazing it is that Hill is in this photograph and why he's there? He's very important. And that just adds weight to what they were potentially doing with the ship in Philadelphia. But we'll get onto that in another episode. So thanks for watching. And I just want to reach out and say thank you to a couple of new Patreons who've appeared in the last 24 hours. And we've been having this great conversation. And that's what being a patron is about. If you want to directly engage me, every Patreon message to me I read on my laptop with a cup of coffee, and I'll reply to you. Some are questions, some are ideas, some are just things that they're interested in. But what it is a way of directly contacting me. Just watch the videos, you're very welcome. But you can make a comment and I might or might not reply to it. But as a Patreon, I'll read your message in detail, think about it, and give you my take on an answer. Guaranteed. So if that interests you, just join up. If not, just keep watching the videos. So I'm going to go back to the cave research department and carry on the quest to discover the real mission of the Philadelphia experiment, because the truth is out there.